Hey everybody, how's it going? It is Matt and it is Terrifying Tuesday. Yes, folks, it's hard to believe that it is already Tuesday out of the week. Hopefully TGIF Friday gets here soon, can't get here soon enough. Before I get on to anything else, I do want to wish each and every one of you a great morning, evening, dawn, day, or dusk, all that lovely stuff, because life really is too short as is. Please do like, share, and subscribe. I love seeing each and every one of you on Monday through Friday, permitting my schedule, and then of course major holidays. I always try to get you guys some extra content in there, so you can just pick and choose whatever you'd like. I try to cover a nice variety of different films when it comes to horror, cult, exploitation, anything that is part of the grindhousey type stuff as well. Anything that falls in that line, I try to do at least something for those different subgenres that we have and love and all know that are part of the lovely world of cult cinema. And then also, one last thing, check out the description box. I put you a little bit more information in there for as far as the daily film goes, daily movie, whatever you want to call it. I give you your brief synopsis. I give you your starring cast, director, runtime of the cut I am watching, along with the MPAA rating, if there is one that exists. Some trivia if there's anything worthwhile, and then of course a link for either a trailer or a scene from the movie itself. So I try to give you a little bit bigger of a bite so it'll hopefully help you decide if you wish to track down a copy and stream it or buy it or do whatever it is, however you do it to watch movies. Hopefully it'll help you decide on that. Now that I got all that out of the way, let's roll on to the movie of the day, and today's came out all the way back in 2012. It's hard to believe that this movie is 9 years old already. It is none other than the remake of Maniac. And yes, folks, this is not a naked woman, it is a naked mannequin. So no, I don't want anybody to freak out, just so you know. Anyways, but this one came out back in 2012. It's hard to believe it's already 9 years old. Either way, it's one of those remakes I feel that was done very, very well. It was done very well. There's things about it I absolutely love, and there's things about it I don't really care for. All in all, though, I would say it's a nice little viewing. You don't have to necessarily purchase this one, but I would definitely say give it a watch. As far as this release goes here, it is from the IFC, what do they call it? The IFC Midnight Collection. I'm not 100% if this one comes with if it has a Blu-ray. I bought this one so long ago, I don't even remember. It does have a reversible artwork, and this is what it originally comes with. I just happen to like that other artwork a little more. It's a little edgier, and it has a little more. It packs a little more of a punch, and it gives you a better idea of what you're getting yourself into. And it has a neat little insert with that artwork as well, and it has a nice little read on the back of there, and it's a very, very neat little thing. It's from Bloody Disgusting, and it's about this movie, and it is a standard issue pressed DVD. Just to let you know, there's no DVD-R bullshit here. You at least have a nice standard issue pressed copy. I think it's running at a 1080p as far as pixelation goes. It's not a 2K or anything fun like that, so don't go in here thinking you're going to get the best copy of it visually. This is probably about as good as you can go, at least at this moment in time. I would like to see a bigger label give this one a little bit better of a release than this one. Not that there's anything wrong with this release. It has special features. It has like an hour and 10-minute long making of featurette, which is very, very neat, very extensive, and it goes over so much different aspects of the movie. From the way they film it to the way the actors interacted with each other, to the backstory, just everything about it, to the music. It just really is a very nice, very captivating making of featurette that they put on there. And then, of course, they have some deleted scenes, and they're just basically extended scenes and stuff like that that would have happened throughout that they just trimmed for whatever sake. Honestly, not really missing anything with as far as those go. It wouldn't have made any real difference in my opinion. There's a theater gallery, or the theater, and then a still poster gallery in one of those things. So you got a little bit of special features that you can select from this one. So it's not a bare bones release. So do keep that in mind. It is at least worthwhile of owning it if you, or at least for the special features, in my opinion. That's the one thing about streaming that you really miss out on, is all the special features that come with a special edition release or whatnot. I love that stuff, and I can't get enough of it. I try to watch every little special feature in every movie I get, unless I really hate the movie. Stuff 102. The Butcher. Don't check out The Butcher. I think that was made in '07. It's a Korean film. I reviewed it months and months and months ago, and it was one of the most painful movies I have ever watched in my entire life. That's how bad it was. It's one that I never recommend to anyone. I recommend you stay far, far, far away from that movie. Anyways, now that I got all that jibber jabber out of the way, what is this movie exactly about? It's about a guy named Frank Zito, who's played by Elijah Wood. He is essentially he's our maniac. He's a serial killer, kind of a Ted Bundy-ish type killer, not quite like the Frank Zito of the original Maniac from 1980. It is slightly different. He's a little more charismatic as far as looks go. He's not this overweight, greasy faced, long haired, dark guy that he was in the original. He was definitely much more menacing in the original, opposed to this one. This one, he is scarier on a psychological level, which is how I imagine a lot of serial slayers are. They are very methodical, and they are and they also get very vicious with their crimes, because every crime he does, every murder he does, he scalps them, each and every one of these women, and he takes them home and he places them on a mannequin and basically keeps them forever as sort of a trophy type thing. It's very, very very cool, but it is extremely disturbing in ways, because he definitely interacts with these mannequins, and they interact back with him, and they are, played by the girls that he has murdered along the way. And you find out lots of interesting things about Frank Zito and his background, and how his mom was a giant floozy and a drug addict, and she at one point brings home two different men at the same occasion, so she's ready to get some DP action going on there. But either way, she's kind of a skeezy, slutty kind of girl, somebody you don't bring home to mommy. But little Frank Zito likes to hang out in the closet and hide, and unfortunately he does spy on his mother, and she catches him a couple times, because there is another little flashback where she is fornicating with another man, a different man altogether, and it is outdoors in like an underpass, like a bridge underpass kind of thing. So it gives you even more of a backstory on how nasty his mother really was, and it gives you that whole nature versus nurture thing that a lot of people tend to argue about, how a serial killer is developed. I think it's a combination of both. Sometimes it just creates a perfect storm, and you get a psychopath that can do things that that are unfathomable, that are unimaginable to the human mind. At least, I mean, you can think about these things. I know all of us at least have dark thoughts once in a while in our life. I know I certainly do. But it definitely shows the difference between a thought and actual reaction. It's crazy cool. But he goes throughout this entire movie killing his little victims. We start off with a his first victim being this cute little redheaded girl with tattoos all over her and piercing. She's kind of an adventurous type girl. First mistake right away is she hooks up with him right out of the gate. Bad idea. Like, there's so many red flags on him that would make a normal girl go, nah, I'm gonna run the other way. But like, the biggest thing that I always noticed that none of the girls ever said thing about, not one iota about, was the fact that his hands are completely uh, just gnarly looking. Like, they're all bloodied up and scabbed up, and they look like they've been through hell and back. So it's kind of a one of those giant red flags that they never ever come across. And so he kills our little redhead, scalps her, takes her back home, and then that's when you find out it's not his first victim, that he's had multiple along the way. And while all this is going on, a girl named Anna, played by Nora Amazeder, a French gal, very, very, very beautiful woman. I love her accent. She's very just stunning, and definitely makes me happy to see her on screen. But either way, she's a photographer who's getting ready to do another art exhibition. I think she said this is like her third one or something like that, second or third, whatever. That's neither here nor there. But she is getting ready to do this photograph exhibit, and she comes across Franck Zito's business, which is Angela's Mannequin, whatever. It's named after Elijah Wood's mother, played by Olivio, who I only know her from this and Neighbors, I think, or Neighbor, whatever it is. She plays a psychotic neighbor that is an interesting little watch. It's very nice viewing as far as eye candy goes. America Olivio is a very, very beautiful woman as well. But she's getting ready to do this exhibit. She's taking photos outside of the mannequin shop of these mannequins. She happens to notice that our Frank is sitting out there staring at her through the blinds. He comes out and greets her. Blah 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 blah. She quickly comes up with the proposition of either renting or borrowing these mannequins for the evening of her exhibition. And in turn, he, goes over the whole, I'm into restoration, this and that. These are all antiques. I look for permanent homes, not just little homes for the evening, stuff like that. Little small talk. But either way, she eventually gives him her number, and we go on to a nice little budding young relationship between these two. They make kind of a cute couple, other than he's a complete psychopath. But in the process, while he's like courting her, dating her, she actually has a boyfriend who is like this music guy, bald-headed music guy. He's kind of an asshole. At one point, there is a interaction between Franck Zito and him, and the boyfriend is automatically is assuming that our Elijah Wood character is a gay man. because that's usually what her standard stereotype friends tend to be. They tend to be gay men, because she likes the fact that she can hang out with a dude that, and they're not going to try and have sex with her constantly, or at least that's the explanation that the boyfriend gives. And he's just so arrogant and smug about it, and he wipes his hands off on poor Elijah's jacket, and it's just like it just gives you a bigger punch of how much of a jerk this guy is. But in the middle of all of this going on, this is while he is doing his standard stalk and slash. Like he does it with one girl. He slices her Achilles tendon with his buck knife. It is rather gnarly, and it was cool to see how that special effect was made in the making of featurette. They actually show a lot of the special effects. The scalpings are really cool, because he essentially he scalps the top of their heads. You can't get any more depraved than that. Not really. You can watch a Mary and Dora film. I think those are some of the most depraved things I've ever seen in my life. Next to like those crazy sex fetish movies. I'm not really into that crap. But either way, it's neither here nor there. As far as anything else would go on this one, I don't want to give away anything else as far as key plot development goes or character development goes. I want you to actually check this one out. This is one I highly recommend. I give it 2 thumbs up. On a technical scale, this thing, it's done really nicely. It's done mostly through POV style. That's point of view. For all of you that don't know what POV means, but most of you I'm sure do. But either way, most of it is shot through POV, and then you see little glimpses of Elijah throughout the movie. It is all done through his eyes. So you essentially yourself, you're taking the ride as the killer yourself. The only unfortunate thing I feel about that POV is I think they relied a little too much on it. They should have backed away a little bit and shown at least some POV from some of the other characters if you want to continue a POV type film. Now, it's not quite like to the levels of like a Hotel Inferno or a Hardcore Henry. It's very, I mean, similar in that style, but not quite as overboard as those 2 movies can be, or 4 movies counting all 3 of the Hotel Inferno movies. But either way, I'm going to probably say this thing's like a 3 out of 5 when it comes to technical filmmaking. It could almost be that 4. It's just that it gets that problem of relying too much on that point of view aspect. Now, as far as an entertainment side goes, this thing is an extremely entertaining movie. It's not quite above average. I would say it's an average movie with average not average acting, because the acting is good, because Elijah is great. Some of the victims he goes after are kind of crappy. Our cute little redhead at the beginning, she's kind of an annoying character in my opinion. There's one character that is not a dancer, but she does those crazy I forget where they call that, where it's like giant curtains and they do like acrobatic things on them. It's quite an interesting thing. I'm just not 100% what it's called. I don't know. It just looks like they're dancing around in giant curtains. But either way, it's cool. I'm gonna probably give it a 4 out of 5. A 3 out of 5 for as far as an entertainment side. I would say this is probably a 6 out of 10 kind of movie. Maybe a 5. More, it could have been a lot better. Unfortunately, I've been seeing lots of things that talk about this being one of the best remakes of all time. I have to disagree. It's not one of the best, but I would definitely put it in a top 15, maybe top 10, almost. I would say probably it's in there, at least top 25 for sure. I will admit that. Now, as far as anything else goes, I don't want to give me anything else. I'm going to go ahead and roll on out of here. I can't believe 19 minutes. Yowzas. Sorry, guys, for keeping it so long, keeping you at bay for so long. But either way, I love your faces, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow.